wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. I'm attorney Gavin and Richard. Check out my latest book, The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. For approximately 2 years now, I have gone on a painstaking quest to investigate the rise and fall of an American icon, Bill Cosby. In the mid-1980s, there was not a star that was higher than Cosby. Advertisements with Coca-Cola, Jello, Kodak, along with the #1 television show for 5 straight years in a row. On Thursday nights, it was must-see TV on NBC. Cosby resurrected the genre of the traditional family sitcom that was once thought dead by television critics. He did this as a Black American with an all-Black cast and showed mainstream network executives in white America that it was possible to be successful without showing the worst in people. He also demonstrated the power that television had, as it can make younger people dream to be the best that they can be. However, like many celebrity stars, unfortunately, they all come crashing down, sometimes by their own fault, others not so much. In this book, I attempted to highlight certain things. We go in depth into both of his trials in 2017 and 2018, respectively. What if I told you that these criminal trials were politically motivated by an overzealous district attorney? Will you also be shocked to learn the attacks on Mr. Cosby did not start in 2014, but also in the 90s, not long after his attempted quest to purchase a major network? From where did all of these allegations of sexual misconduct come from? Were the accusers telling the truth? In the 2 years of research, with some help from others interested in learning the truth and facts about this case, we discussed both the legal reasons why his prosecution and trial were illegal, unwarranted, and also the possible personal motives as to why this may have occurred. Most importantly, we warn about the dangers of prejudice and why trial by social media, or mainstream media rather, should never be the norm. All this and more in The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. Available on Amazon this fall in Kindle and paperback format.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, cause on the dance floor is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the...
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, What do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Now, 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so, if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up
And move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up. Baby.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
What's up, everybody? Feel the groove, get on the floor. We got to get on up. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, please donate to the Cash App, PayPal, GooglePay, and Zelle at the bottom to support our channel. This is Random Topic Thursdays, the hottest live stream in the cosmos. That means YouTube and Facebook and all social media platforms where available. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you tonight? I have, as always, our friend to the channel and our special co-host, Shawn James. Shawn is the author of Two Women, available on Amazon and other platforms as well. It's available for pre-order, but I believe it'll be fully available. Is it fully available or is it just pre-order?
The paperback is now available on Amazon and other online booksellers. So if you want a paperback copy, you can put in your order like many viewers have. And if you want a digital version, you can pre-order the Kindle version right now, and it will be delivered to your tablet or your cell phone on November 29th.
Well, thank you for that, Shawn, and the readings to you.
Thank you.
All right. Why don't we go ahead and get started, ladies and gentlemen? Let's get into it. Of course, we have two topics for tonight specifically that I'm going to be speaking on. Number one, are bootlegs doing a double take on Kyrie, and continued fallout from the midterm elections of 2022. So I guess we could start with this. Let's talk about Kyrie Irving. Now, of course, you know, Shawn, Kyrie Irving has been suspended from the league. I know you don't follow basketball, but we talked about this last week how Kyrie Irving had been suspended from the league regarding not even remarks, but his tweet of a film called Hebrews to Negroes that's on Amazon garnered a lot of controversy to the point where he was forced to apologize, although initially he was reluctant to, for supporting the film. And a number of conditions have come out that they are asking your Kyrie Irving to do to show that he is fully renouncing this film. Now, I want to play some stuff. Of course, you had, and I showed you all the video footage. We had Negroes like Shaq and Charles Barkley who say what they say. But I was even more, and Stephen A. Smith is not a surprise to me, but I was more surprised at Shannon Sharp and even LeBron James at them condemning Kyrie. And we've seen pictures of LeBron butting up with rabbis. In fact, my main thing with LeBron, I've seen him in dresses. LeBron, Charles Barkley, and Shaq, something they all have in common. LeBron, remember, did progressive. He was in a wig and a dress. And a lot of people look to these men as heroes, but to me, they're not. They're just entertainers and athletes. Even when I look at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who at one point was at that great conference with all the black athletes. Remember when they got behind Muhammad Ali? He has attacked not only Kyrie, but remember he came at Ice Cube.
Yeah.
And Ice Cube said Kareem was a buck. Well, I'm not paraphrasing. I'm paraphrasing what he said, but Kareem had sold out for 30 pieces of silver. That's what Ice Cube said. I want you all to take a look at this as we get into this topic. I want you to look at this. You see this picture?
Yes.
This meant something here. When you look at the picture right there, that conference that they had. I'm sorry, I keep getting text messages. This conference that they had in 1960, I want to say it had to have been 1967, 1968, when they supported Muhammad Ali. You see all of these athletes from Bill Russell. There's Ali, there's Jim Brown, there's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And the other black men behind there, I don't know all of their names. But these were strong men. And now today, what do we have? This is what we got. This was LeBron in a dress. He did the progressive commercial. One thing we can say about Kyrie hasn't put on a dress. But even never minding that, let's go to this video now. I'm not going to play it because I don't want a copyright strike. But I'm going to play a clip for you all that was on ESPN as well as various outlets. This is LeBron talking about Kyrie Irving. Remember, they were teammates for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers some moons ago. So I want y'all to listen.
I don't remember what he had to say. I'm gonna run that right quick so you can get caught up to speed to why he had to do what he had to do
if y'all
today.
can hear, give me a thumbs up.
A lot of people was going against
Can you hear
Kyrie,
the video,
because
Shawn?
things was
I
getting
can hear
pulled.
it.
Kyrie, and a lot of these people, a lot of the guys that play in the NBA with Kyrie, they had current contracts or dealings with these entities that were pulling from Kyrie. So as a result, they felt like they needed to, hey, I'm gonna go this way. I'm not gonna say, either they stayed away from it or they condemned him, essentially. So check out what LeBron had to say first.
I can tell you this. It's simple. Me personally, I don't condone any hate to any kind, to any race, to Jewish communities, to Black communities, to Asian communities. You guys know where I stand. And, it's part of the reason why I didn't air the shop episode. Why we kicked that, out of the archives, because there was hate conversation going on there, and I don't represent that. There's no place in the world for it. Nobody can benefit from that, and I believe Kyrie did cause some harm to a lot of people. He has since over the last year, yesterday, he apologized. He caused some harm, and I think it's unfortunate, but I don't stand on the position to harm people when it comes to your voice and your platform or anything. So it doesn't matter what color your skin is, how tall you are, what position you are in. You are promoting or soliciting or saying harmful things to any community that harm people.
Hold on. Somebody said they can't make it out now, so you can't hear. Turn your volume up, but if everybody can hear thumbs up. But LeBron is talking a little low. But what basically he's stating is that he's changed his tune a little bit on Kyrie. He believes Kyrie, he said Kyrie Irving, he believes, he hasn't got to that point, but that he should play. He's apologized and people should move on. And he doesn't believe in harming people for their opinions and platforms. However, if you caught what he said earlier, remember he had Kanye West on The Shop, which is his show on HBO Max, I believe, his talk show. And he said there were some conversations going on and they pulled that episode. This is the king, right? I'm wearing the king hat. It's not a LeBron James hat, but you see king. LeBron is called King. King James, that's his nickname. Who can make King James take down his video? Who can make King James pull an episode of a popular show that he has? Normally when you had talk shows back in the 80s and 90s, remember we used to have a disclaimer that was put up, and it would always say the views and comments made during this broadcast does not reflect the views of the producers of the network or any other personnel. Remember that?
I remember it.
They do that. LeBron didn't do that here. He just pulled it. Now, I don't know what was said. Obviously, it's from Kanye West and remarks he made, and I'm sure they're not good necessarily, but I'm not going to keep bashing Kanye.
So after a lot of backlash on social media, seeing how the troops are rallying around Kyrie, LeBron issued a statement on his Twitter account. He said, "I told you guys that I don't believe in sharing hurtful information, and I'll continue to be that way, but Kyrie apologized and he should be able to play. That's what I think. It's that simple. Help him learn, but he should be playing. What he's asked to do to get back on the floor, I think is excessive, in my opinion. He's not the person that's being portrayed of him. Anyways, back to my rehab session. So after these 6 conditions were released and seeing the outcry from the people, a lot of people that was initially going at Kyrie Irving, including Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, several others, they were like, nah, that's a bit too much, man. That's a bit too much. They just trying to
stop it there. One of the big things I saw too was a brother who's on ESPN, Jay Williams, and he actually did a video shout out to Kyrie Irving and standing by him. So he put this on his Twitter page and did it even though he knows he's risking obviously losing that nice paycheck at ESPN. But I never saw him directly actually go at Kyrie. But let me show you before I play that video, just so everybody can know, Shawn, these are the demands that they want Kyrie Irving to do before he returns to the Nets. he has to issue a verbal apology and condemn this anti-Semitic film he shared. Share that apology on social media. Complete sensitivity training. Meet with Jewish leaders in the Brooklyn community. Meet with Joe Tsai and make a $500,000 donation to anti-hate causes. I bet you it's not a black cause. How much you want to bet it's not a black cause they want that donation to go to? They say anti-hate. So that means I can bring to any anti-hate cause. But who runs the anti-hate cause? But let's play the video because I was so happy to see this brother. And I'm going to play later on Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp's video. But y'all should listen to what Jay Williams said if y'all saw this. Hold on.
Approach it with a state of empathy, right? Regardless of what color, what creed, what race you are, look at people as human beings. I think that's important. But life is always about taking a stand and holding principles. So I want to explain what I feel like my stance is as a Black male in this world, okay? And conversations that I've had with my brothers and sisters in the Black community. And I want you guys to empathize with it and hear me on it. So when I hear what Kyrie Irving has to go through in order to be reinstated, I'm appalled. I'm appalled. And let me give you examples of how I feel like we don't have the same energy and hold other people who have dealt with racial tropes accountable. So when Sarah Silverman does blackface, or when Don Imus says nappy-headed hose, or when Howard Stern calls somebody the N-word in the skit, or when Brett Favre takes money from the state of Mississippi, we don't ask them to get sensitivity training. We don't ask them to donate $500,000. We don't ask them to meet with the Black National Caucus. They apologize. And then, you know what? The rest of the world moves on. But what I feel like is happening here, and that's how in the Black community, like we've been told that's how the process works, right? Think about that, Bert. That's how the process works. Oh, somebody does a blackface. Oh, it was a misunderstanding. We got it. Okay. You know, is that person really racist? Probably not. Was it ignorant? Probably so. Okay. We understand it. We move forward. We don't like it. We would love to hold them accountable. But society and having a lot of Black people in positions of power, we don't have the governability to do that. But what we feel like happens with Kyrie is even after an apology, it's not enough. We feel like there needs to be more. And a lot of people I've spoken to over the last couple of days talk about this thing. Older mentors of mine talk about buck breaking. So we talk about tropes. This is something that we feel like in the Black community that happened way back in the day, where if there was a slave that was defiant, right, he got broken in front of everybody in order to show that he was not in a position of power. And that at the end of the day, he had to do what he was told to do because that's what was mandated of him. And there's a bigger situation going on. What's happening with Kyrie Irving? If the Nets don't want him to be there, just say you don't want him to be there. But we should hold everybody accountable, even owners of teams accountable with things that are happening in other countries, i.e. China and Uyghurs and the Muslim genocide that is occurring, that we hear Enes Kanter talk about. But we don't keep the same energy for everybody.
We pick and choose
what conversational points we want to make more polarizing.
And
I
might lose
my job. I might lose deal opportunities in the future for speaking out about even the platforms that continue to promote and profit a movie that is considered anti-Semitic to billions of people. They don't have to be accountable. Who is accountable? But we're going to put everything on the shoulders of Kyrie Irving, who even though he said I cannot be anti-Semitic because if I know where I came from, stating that he's one of the 4 lost tribes. He's saying that blacks and Jews come from the same entity, the same thing. But we don't want to understand nuance. We want to be triggered by words. And we like fire. And we like things that are going viral on social media, and everybody has some kind of hot take, and we're calling people idiots, we're calling people names because that's what we do. We just
Destroy each other.
Destroy each
I
other.
ain't gonna destroy
I ain't
each
gonna
other,
destroy
man.
each other, man.
I'm not gonna do that.
I'm not gonna
Is
do
Kyrie
that.
Irving
Is Kyrie Irving
anti-Semitic? Hell
anti-Semitic?
no.
Hell no.
Could he have gone
Could he
about
have gone about
maybe
it maybe a different way?
That's what I
That's
would
what I would have
advised
advised him to do.
I'm not
I'm not
gonna
gonna let you guys sit out here and
make
make this dude
out
out to be like he is a villain, like he is a bad person.
He is
He is
looking to explore his heritage.
heritage.
Now you can
Now you can
crucify me if you want. I don't give
a damn anymore.
It's time for
It's time for people to start speaking out with nuance
speaking out
and speaking out on the principles they stand for.
That's all
That's all I'll say.
Now, someone we know, Jay Williams, so far I've seen him, he's pretty straight. But something very interesting happened today as well, is that Kyrie got support from another individual. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan dropped on earlier this morning a video showing his support for Kanye and Kyrie. And I'm going to play a clip of that.
What did he do wrong? What did he do? He's searching for the knowledge of himself. He's searching to know who he is, who he belongs to. What is his root in this world? And some of you that are persecuting him are the very ones that took away from him and from us the knowledge of self. You took our language, you took our culture, you took our history, you took our minds and inserted your mind into our mind through your systems. And now God has come to lift us from this terrible condition that you have placed us in. So he saw a movie. He didn't write the movie. He wasn't the producer of the movie. He wasn't the director of the movie. Somebody told him that there was a movie titled From Hebrews to Negroes. That's an interesting title, because many of our people don't know anything about being a Hebrew. We know that we passed through something called Negro, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us that means someone dead, lifeless, hard, neutral. We didn't name ourselves a Negro. They named us that because they put us in the condition that name represents. Kyrie and Ye, and all of you now.
So I've played a lot of videos right now. We're going to let our brother Shawn come in. But before I do have to play this one, because I told everybody just briefly, I'm going to play this video this is one from Shannon Sharp, and this is another one from Stephen A. Smith. So let's start.
Entirely of his own volition, so he deserves it. But now you're going a step too far, okay? The man apologized, all right? He's been suspended, and that. Now you as an organization have to make it. Do you want him on your team? Do you keep him on the rest of the year? Or you can elect to let him go while making him sit home, and you have to pay him unless you trade him. It's that simple. But to sit up there and to have these lists of conditions that he has to do, I think what you're trying to do is elevate the level of embarrassment that is being thrown in his direction, and dare I say, emasculate him, which is why Jaylen Brown has spoken up, which is why Black people are going to raise holy hell about that, and which is why I'm going to be one of those folks leading the chorus to raise holy hell about that. Leave a man alone. Keep him on the team or let him go. Suspend him, bring him back. But when you start talking about, well, he needs training and all of that, wait a minute now. The fact of the matter is, he apologized. digging it in. It's unnecessary. It's uncalled for. If the Anti-Defamation League wants to raise holy hell about that, and they want that, and they request that of Kyrie Irving, that's between them and Kyrie Irving. Last time I recall, Josiah is not Jewish. Josiah is an owner for the Brooklyn Nets. You want him on the team or you don't. But to sit there and highlight and articulate these processes that he must go through, it seems to be a bit pouring on. I don't appreciate it. I don't like it. It's a bit excessive. And that's what I wanted to say about it. Go ahead, Tim.
It wasn't enough that he apologized. Now they're trying to rob. I believe they're trying to rob the man of his dignity. They're trying to make him grovel to come and get his job back. And I don't agree with that. A man said he was sorry. Hey, I was wrong. Yeah, I would have liked to see him. Hey, I shared a link to my page. It was brought to my attention that I offended a group of people. And for that, I would like to say I'm sincerely sorry. That was not my intention. In the hope of trying to enlighten and educate my people, I was disrespectful. I was disparaging to another group of people. Could have said that, Skip, and maybe it wouldn't have gotten to this point. They gave him this manifesto, Skip, of what they want him to. I'm like, now come on now, y'all guys look. Yeah, y'all going to y'all this. It's kind of like you build a relationship, and the other party say, well, okay, I need you to do this. I said I was sorry, but that's not enough. No. Now I need to rob you of something to put you to let you know. Because Skip, I need to. Right now, what Brooklyn's trying to do, they try to put him in front of all the world to see. You see what happens? If you do this, others, this is what could possibly happen to you. I don't agree with that, Skip. I think that's a bit, for me, that's a bit much. And I've been very critical of Kyrie. But I think what Brooklyn is doing now, that's a bit much.
I got to tell you right now, Skip, that's a bit much what they do to Kyrie, man. Because Skip, he not no man. Kyrie Irving's a man, Skip. He did a bit much. And I love this job here. That's why I've been critical of him. You know that too, Sean. I've been real critical of him, Skip. Come on, Skip. Come on, Skip. Skip it, man. Skip it. Skip what they doing to Kyrie, man. Skip all of this. Stephen A. Smith's ass still tried to find a way to tap dance on it. Because none of these guys can tell me exactly what he did wrong. He saw a movie, like Minister Farrakhan said. People see movies all the time. When you go into a movie theater, you may not agree with what's the plot or how it's written or the actors that they cast in it. You never know. And you're going to go ahead and attack this man for sharing a link to a movie, yet you got nothing to say about Jeff Bezos putting it on his platform. It's for false attack. It's a hit piece that they're doing on Kyrie Irving. I'm real sick of it. So, Sean, without further interruptions, you got the floor.
Well, as somebody who has been bullied, all I see what's happening to Kyrie Irving is a group of individuals in the NBA and these other people who are part of these religious organizations looking to bully Kyrie Irving. And as they look to bully Kyrie Irving, they are looking to get leverage in the situation and use that leverage to abuse him. Now, your Kyrie Irving already apologized for whatever offended these people. But when it comes down to these type of individuals, from my personal experience, they're never satisfied when you go out here and apologize, because for them, that apology, it gives them the power to play the victim. And then they use that position of the victim to go out here and abuse you. Now, they abuse you by attaching an emotional hose to you to foster a codependent relationship with you. And this codependent relationship with these individuals in the NBA and these members of these religious organizations want to do is they want to go out here and use their victim position to go out here and abuse Kyrie Irving by adding more stipulations to their so-called apology. Now, in order for them to feel satisfied about this apology, they have created a long laundry list of things for your Kyrie Irving to do as part of their shit test. And as part of their shit test, what they want to do is see if Kyrie Irving will fulfill all of these so-called 6 requirements. But what your Kyrie Irving doesn't understand that I understand is that even if you fulfill all of these terms, what these individuals are going to do is move the goalpost. Now, you have a lot of people now realizing that this whole punishment is excessive, and that's exactly what it is designed to be. Because when it comes down to these kind of individuals, this is not about getting an apology to sate the so-called issue, which really isn't an issue because all Kyrie Irving did was post a link to a movie that something everybody does. I mean, I have done it with numerous Tubi movies that I like that are horror movies and romances and black movies. And these individuals, they are going out here getting all upset because he posted a link to a movie that is readily available for anyone on Amazon.com to watch. And they want to say that your Kyrie Irving has gone out here and done something that is so called anti Semitic. But I don't believe he did anything at all wrong because your Kyrie Irving did something again. Everybody out here has done when they see a movie that they like. What they do is share that movie with people. Now, your Kyrie Irving, what has happened is he has become awakened as related to the heritage of Black people, and he saw it in this movie. And people want to make it out like he's some sort of anti-Semite, but he's not. He's just a guy who watched the movie, and what they want to do is make him out to be a monster for just doing something. Again, everybody does. And now more and more people are seeing how excessive this whole thing is. And I saw it as excessive because, again, I have experienced this growing up in junior high school and high school. And again, with these type of individuals, what they want to do is break a person down and break a person down to the point where they basically just walk away from the social circle. Again, what they want to do is run Kyrie Irving out of the NBA. It's not about him apologizing to go and play because they don't care if he apologizes and goes out here and fulfills their terms. They're just going to go out here and move the goalpost once again. And once they move the goalpost again, they just will keep doing this because, again, the ultimate goal is to make you leave the social circle. And then in this case, they want Kyrie Irving to leave the NBA because they want to destroy a Black man and they want to destroy his ability to make a living. And as they get him to go out here and they destroy this Black man, what they want to do is see him continue to grovel, beg, and plead. And that's where a lot of people have to really look at this whole situation with your Kyrie Irving and realize that what they're doing to Kyrie is what they'll do to them. Because as somebody who's experienced this type of bullying, it doesn't just start with one person. It continues to escalate. And again, these individuals, they want to deny Kyrie Irving his constitutional right to free speech, his constitutional right to freedom of expression. And then what they want to do is then deny more Black people their rights. And again, this is where all Black people have to come together because this is an attack on our constitutional rights, a attack on our life and liberty and pursuit of happiness, an attack on our First Amendment rights, and an attack on us as a people. It is about dehumanizing us. It is about breaking us down. It is about breaking us so that we can only say, oh, you can't say this. You can't watch that movie. You can't share that movie. You can't use social media unless you go through us. And again, this is the type of actions that juvenile junior high school bullies do to control other people. And this is the type of behavior that people who are insecure, because many of these bullies are insecure, and they're insecure because when they see somebody like Kyrie Irving becoming aware of himself, what they are afraid of is a Black man being able to stand up and push back against their institution instead of being slaves on the NBA plantation. And what they want to do is break that slave before he goes out here and starts empowering other Black people. That's the goal that they want to do with your Kyrie Irving. And this is why every Black person has to push back. This is why every Black person has to stop buying Nike sneakers, stop going out here and watching the NBA games, and show how our 3.3 trillion in economic power has it controls the NBA. Because if it wasn't for brothers going out here playing the game, if it wasn't for brothers going out here spending money on the merch, if it wasn't for black men going out here and watching the games, we need to show them where their money comes from, and we need to walk away from them. And I'd have to say Kyrie should just walk away from them. And the players should walk away, because there's no way we should sit there and allow them to abuse Kyrie Irving, because the abuse they give to Kyrie Irving is the same abuse they would give to us, and that's just completely unconstitutional.
Let me play this before this was running while you were talking. This is the Nike founder, Phil Knight, who spoke on, as you know, Kyrie Irving is a Nike spokesperson, and as you know, all of these NBA athletes are spokespersons for either Nike or Adidas, Converse, whatever. So listen to this.
Kyrie stepped over the line. It's kind of that simple. And so he made some statements that we just can't abide by, and that's why we ended the relationship. And yeah, I was fine with that.
He was fine with
Kyrie
it
stepped
because
over the
what
line.
he doesn't tell you is that they relationship since last year. Kyrie made a remark about the new Nike shoes that they had last year, the Kyrie 8, I believe, and said he didn't like it. He called it trash, and that Nike planned to release the kicks despite his disapproval. So this doesn't surprise me that they are saying that this guy is saying this about him. But this is why you got to do like LeVar Ball, get your own shoe, get your own shoe line. You are the star, and promote your shit. Forget NBA. Join the big three that Ice Cube has. If Kyrie Irving went right now to the big three with Ice Cube, I guarantee you they would get an enormous amount of ratings. I guarantee you Ice Cube will get even more support, more sponsors calling up because you got Kyrie Irving coming over, or you have Devin Booker, whoever, any of these athletes that quit the NBA and went there now to start their own league, or not start their own league, but join these teams. While they may not make the money initially that they have, it will certainly build up because the NBA wouldn't make anything. But you know, Shawn, these NBA, the NFL, they're run like a machine. It's an engine, and it doesn't stop. The only thing that cuts off an engine is if there's no oil in it for it to burn. And what color is oil?
Oil is black.
That is black people. So the oil for the NBA is black. Remove the oil, the engine stops. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Donate to the Cash App and PayPal that you see at the bottom as well. We're going to move into our next topic. Let's talk about this continued fallout from the midterm elections of 2022. Now, specifically, Shawn, we talked about, and I'm sure you saw this. We talked about this last week about how black men were being targeted for misinformation, allegedly that these were statements made by your Stacey Abrams and Keisha Lance Bottoms. She says in this, and this is an actual quote, she said, "If black men vote for me, we win." Well, that didn't happen. At least half of it wasn't true. But yet they find a way to still target black men. And I posted an article by a doctor. I read Dr. Ricky Jones out of Kentucky. I've reached out to him to come on the channel to discuss his article, and I'm going to share that with you, Shawn, in the private chat because it might be something that you would want to talk about on your show as well. But she actually said, if black men vote for me, we will win. As if to say that if she doesn't win, it is because black men didn't vote for her. That's the meaning I get from this. And I think, Shawn, you get the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's black folks' fault black men's fault I lost, and if we win, it's black women. That's essentially this gender divide that they have created. And she, of course, perpetrated this lie, but also, and I'm going to play a video from Keisha Bottom B, who had the gall to actually throw not only black men under the bus in general, but her sons and her husband for the Democratic Party. These coons are laughable. I want to play Stacey Abrams first. But this was This is what she said. Hold on. This is Stacey Abrams first. This is the video.
Voters are often discounted. And unfortunately, this year, Black men have been a very targeted population for misinformation. Not misinformation about what they want, but about why they want what they deserve.
And so, Mayor Bottoms, I picked up on that because I'm just wondering, Stacey Abrams' focus on the misinformation that's being targeted at Black men. And it makes me wonder, is she not getting the Black support she needs in her race against Brian Kemp?
Listen, Jonathan, I think that Stacey is spot on with that. I listen as my kids watch NBA highlights and whatever else they watch on YouTube. I hear the misinformation being typed in. My 12-year-old, my 14-year-old son, my 20-year-old is getting it. So there is definitely a target toward African-American men, not just to give them misinformation, but to make them so discouraged that they won't show up to vote.
She is a loser. And she wants to blame brothers for this, and it got her and Keisha Bottom B who decimated Atlanta. She failed Maynard Jackson and Andrew Young. She wasn't a good mayor out in Atlanta. Keisha Bottom B, that's how Jason Black calls her. For her to she threw her own family under the bus for the Democratic Party. That's disrespectful. And yet, when they say things like you heard Stacey Abrams, you've heard Keisha Bottoms, they say misinformation about Black men and what they want. They never say what the misinformation was. They don't specifically say it, do they? You said you saw this, and you said you actually saw this in an NBA game. What did you see? They don't point it out, do they?
No, they never do.
Shawn?
No, they never do. When it comes down to these bootlicks, they never point out where
Shawn,
they get their info. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. It might be microphone issues. I don't know. Let me take a minute. Okay, my microphone seems to be working. All right. So, can anybody hear me? Just let me know in the chat. Okay, my microphone seems to be working, but must be technical issues.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
I don't know what's going on. It's my internet acting up, man. I hate when this crap happens. But we was discussing about why Stacey Abrams lost. They have come out to try, and it's the internet. It's not YouTube this time. I don't believe. But they try to blame black men for this. You have the shills that came out. Of course, I'm sure you saw Roland Martin.
Yeah, I saw.
He lost his mind. I can't stand that motherfucker. Like, he's an asshole. Y'all the reason. Tariq Nasheed, don't be celebrating nothing. But it's up to you, Mrs. Robinson. You can be my Robinson, yo. But this is why Stacey Abrams lost, ladies and gentlemen. These are the statistics. 74% of white registered voters went to Brian Kemp. 48% of white women and 58% of men. That's the majority in Georgia. She was not going to win this thing, not even close. And you want to blame black men? I had to watch these. I had to watch the most ignorant shit. I had to respond to this because this was getting on my nerves. Even with that, you look at these statistics, Shawn, but I want to share something with y'all too. I can't look at Roland stuff. He's blocked me because I called him a dick. He is. And I don't, that's that Negro big groove. Ugh. I wasn't trying to put that on that.
Like this watermelon. Approach your victim.
Since he wants to be Jaws, what if we put a big tank in his mouth and shot it? Smile, you son of a bitch, like Roy Schneider. I had to call some stuff out that I saw because I didn't like this. But they were going back and forth with my sister Nicole from Nicole's View. And I had to respond to this fool because this guy actually said what black men did to Stacey Abrams is unforgivable. I responded, I said, no, sir. What she and her constituents said about black men was unacceptable. And you're a black man saying this. And then R&R Forever said, don't you see his flag? So he has that, I think that's the flag of, it's the flag of Guyana. So that makes sense. But they like to blame black men for this. Black men's fault, black men's fault. And shout out to Nicole, because she and I were going back and forth, going at this stuff. And she said this tweet right here is the personification of anti-straight black male hate, nothing more. We will denounce you self-hating clowns pushing this deplorable narrative. No smoke for the white folk or Hispanic, but plenty for your own who vote at over 90% for this black woman. And it's important to point out, black men still voted for Stacey Abrams at 84%. You keep insulting your second largest base. You would never, oh God, I'm not trying to put it on his ass. You would never see them, they would never go at any other ethnic group like they go at black people because they know there's no consequences. I'm frankly tired of it. I'm so sick of this shit. Sean, I hope you are too.
I've been sick of it since 2000 or so.
I mean, goodness, you blaming us. We're not, and keep in mind, we're not even the minority. Jamila Lemieux, she got to get in on this. I keep seeing him. Oh yeah, Roland. Yeah, they were going back and forth. You know, this woman here, I saw this crap.
Did you vote yet? That's my thing. Like, I've been trying to figure out if the girls and the boys is voting. Like, did you vote? Did you vote for Stacey Abrams? Yes or no? Do you care about Georgia? Do you care? Do you even care? Because the only people not voting is the people that don't care. It looked like y'all want.
This witch looking like Hawaiian Punch. Y'all remember that? Y'all who love Hawaiian Punch? Look at that. Hold on. There she is. Did you vote yet? No. That's why I rocks with Delaware Punch. You won't vote, you ain't gonna get none. Like that Professor Crump. Remember when she had that, we should all go on sex strike shit? We've been boycotting your coochie for a long time, ever since you got over 180 pounds, witch. Be gone. You go on Howard University's church talking about black men. That's why Howard University is not what it was. That's why they went at Felicia Rashad when she was defending Bill Cosby. They let Professor Crump get up there. All the stuff she said about black men. Thurgood Marshall was rolling his grave. Donny Hathaway was rolling. All these men that went to that institution. Chadwick Boseman was rolling his grave. That y'all would put that type of foolishness on there. Disgusting.
Listen, I'm gonna need y'all to go and vote. That's it. I don't got nothing else to tell y'all today, but just go vote. Make sure you're getting your voice out there. Make sure you're voting.
Now, where's Monique? She's got
your
on the
vote
bonnet.
matters. Don't let nobody tell you that your vote doesn't matter. Don't let nobody say, "Oh."
We need Monique. She's got that bonnet on out in public. That's some girl on, I guess this was a TikTok video she did. They got this one. They got her. I don't who the hell knows. I don't know who she is.
Listen,
They get it's not uncommon that they get these people to come out and they hype them up. They say I'm hearing she's a Nigerian. She's non-foundational Black American. She's Nigerian. Yeah, and mind you, she's talking about abortion. If she's from Nigeria, you know, in Nigeria, abortion is illegal. Go ahead, Sean. I know you've been waiting.
Well, I don't know why they keep trying to blame black men for Stacey Abrams losing. No, Stacey Abrams lost because Stacey Abrams was just a terrible candidate. And your Stacey Abrams was a horrible candidate because she had no vision for what direction she wanted to take Georgia in. and most people saw right through it. Now, your Stacey Abrams wants to go out here and blame black men, along with these other assorted bootlicks, for her loss in the election. But you can't blame an audience you did not even target and try to appeal to. No, your Stacey Abrams just went out here bashing up black men like Oprah Winfrey used to do back in the 80s. And she thought that black men were just supposed to sit there and tolerate this. And she never even offered any sort of tangibles that black men were going to get. So I'm sitting there wondering, as related to Stacey Abrams, I mean, you have this is your second strongest base, but you're not offering anything tangible to anyone because you were looking to try to continue trying to get cash from your white leftist benefactors. And now that you don't have a base that will support her, your Stacey Abrams is now asked out. And she's asked out because now those white benefactors know they can't use her to influence the black masses because she's already been proven to be a two-time loser. Now, your Stacey Abrams being a two-time loser means that she's on her way to the permanent unemployment line with your Roland Martin, because your white supremacists, they only want black bootlicks who can go out here and produce results. And since your Stacey Abrams has not been able to produce any results, your Stacey Abrams will be joining Roland Martin and all of these other bootlicks who had shows as they're off the air looking to try to find a job with another white paymaster, because now that she's proven that she can't produce, nobody wants anything to do with her. And as your Stacey Abrams is out here again wanting to blame black men, you can't blame black men for this because we already knew back in 2020 we weren't getting any tangibles when your Joker Joe told everyone that to go to the Hispanic community and he had nothing to give black people. So most smart black men already knew you're not getting anything, so you may as well not even waste your time and let these bootlicks all start dying like they are. Because if I can't get any tangibles, I'm not going to have a reason to vote. And since election day is payday and I'm not getting paid, there's no reason for me to get up and go drive my car to a polling place because gas costs money. And if I'm not getting any money in return, then I just need to stay home. And that's what many black men said as they listened to Kate Stacey Abrams condescend to them. And then they tried to go out here and do this gender divide. And again, basically, they proved that your Stacey Abrams is a useless tool. And now the useless tool is about to be broken and tossed, just like all the other bootleg tools like Roland Martin.
Yeah. Look at this. Hold on a second. I want you to look at this. This is what Vicky Dillard tweeted. And Vicky Dillard actually follows me.
Turns out, guys, I can't do it because I have no tolerance for ridiculousness. And every time y'all come in here and say dumb shit like we shouldn't vote, we should hold our vote, or you say dumb shit like, well, the Democrats haven't done anything for us in the last 10 years, as if what's happening right now. I'm live and
she said, this is why Stacey Abrams, dear Amanda Seals, this is why Stacey Abrams lost. It's always this vote shaming thing. No one wants to talk to you and ask us why we feel the way we do.
That's because they don't respect black people.
They don't. Now, she says, Georgia, this is Nana _52. Georgia, y'all really failed Stacey Abrams. There's no reason why she should have been running behind Warnock. I blame Killer Mike and those ashy-ass black men that listen to him. I don't know what Warnock has to do with it. He's running for Senate, not governor. Warnock, of course, is in a runoff with Herschel Walker. And they're angry, two things. They're angry at Killer Mike because Killer Mike actually met with Brian Kemp. He never endorsed Brian Kemp, but the governor asked to speak to him. And as if he can't talk to Brian Kemp. Roland looking at these election results. And what's important to point out too, Shawn, when you talk about the backlash from the 2022 midterms, the bottom line too is that many people, you have a lot of Latinos who are voting Republican because they share conservative values. They believe, they see themselves actually as white. In general, there are Latinos who are Hispanic, but they're Latino, they're Hispanic in origin, but they still classify themselves as white, like George Zimmerman. And they have conservative values. And I mean, they flipped Florida completely red.
Yeah.
We saw this in 2020 with the election of Trump. He won by a landslide in Florida. He carried it. And now it's backlashing. It's the backlashes against the Democrats because they say things that are offensive to people. But more specifically, this thing too, I want to talk about this as well. What did you think of this runoff that's going to happen between Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock, the incumbent? Because I saw the reports. Some have had Herschel winning. Some have had Warnock slightly winning. It hasn't been much. This is NPR results. The results actually state that Raphael Warnock had 49.42% to Herschel Walker's 48.5%. So it's headed to a runoff. What do you think will happen? What do you think of this?
It would be interesting to me because if you're only getting half and half, you might just wind up with a perpetual tie. So, what could happen here could be the definition of insanity, where you do the exact same thing and expect a different result. So, unless you have people who are going to actively be able to get those people who are sitting on the sidelines to come out and vote, then I just see this going into a perpetual thing where it just goes round and around because both sides are really passionate and you need 50% of the vote. But I don't think it is possible to get 50% of the vote unless people become discouraged and want to walk away from one of these candidates.
Well, who do you think will win?
I don't know. It's at this point, I mean, your Warnock, I mean, I don't really think he has any chance of winning. And your Herschel Walker is as dumb as a box of rocks.
He is, but this says something bad about Raphael Warnock.
He was a weak candidate from day one. He was not fit for office.
We have to remember he was a fill-in for Kelly Loeffler, who stepped down as senator when they had that election in 2021, excuse me. She became a senator because of a special election.
Yeah.
But Warnock, no. A lot of people know, I haven't talked to him lately, but Dr. Randy Short, he doesn't like Warnock. A lot of people have talked about what goes on at Dr. King's old church. I don't know too much about it because I'm not in Atlanta, but I can tell you one thing. Atlanta does have a serious, just like New Orleans, has a serious homelessness problem. It has a serious homeless problem, especially around the I-10. But I want to ask you, Shawn, because I saw you complaining about the elections in New York with a governor. And this woman, I believe she was already the interim governor.
Yeah.
And she ran and won the race, and you were upset about it. And I think Computer Robots asks, is it a safe place to come to New York if you're a visitor? Is it a good time? Kathy Hochul.
I would not come here at all. It's too dangerous.
Did you want a Republican? You wanted the Republican Lee Zeldin to win?
Yeah, because this Kathy Hochul is incompetent. There's crime going out of control, and she's just obsessed with abortion.
That's all they talk about. The Democrats don't know how to talk to people, but these are the results. So she won by 52%, really 53%, right?
Yeah,
so, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she tricked people with this whole abortion argument, and a lot of these females went out here and voted, not understanding that if you're not safe, you're not going to be able to survive once you come out of the clinic. They don't understand that if you don't do something about the crime, the city is going and the state is going to get worse. And they just got in their feelings about Roe v. Wade, not thinking about the big picture.
All right. It's going to be interesting too. Now, something before we get off, Joe Biden was actually asked about the results, and he was very upkeep about it. I don't know if you saw the press conference, but I want to play it. It's just a 5-minute clip I have.
So President Biden just delivered remarks about the midterm election results and said it was a good day for democracy.
Our democracy has been tested in recent years, but with their votes, the American people have spoken and proven once again that democracy is who we are. The states across the country saw record voter turnout, and the heart and soul of our democracy, the voters, the poll workers, the election officials, they did their job and they fulfilled their duty, and apparently without much interference at all.
And for more, I'm joined by White House correspondent for Reuters, Jeff Mason, who is with us from the North Lawn of the White House. Hi, Jeff. Good to see you there. So a pretty lengthy press conference from the president before he heads abroad, but after these election results that many had forecasted to be pretty tough for him and his party, turns out that did not quite materialize, at least at this point. What were some of the takeaways that you heard from the president?
Well, for sure, one of the takeaways was the clip that you just played, that he said he thought this was good for democracy. That was a sign that he thought his final message about democracy probably made an impact. There were even some Democrats who were suggesting that him doing a speech at Union Station in D.C. just a few days before the midterms, talking about the threats to democracy wasn't a great idea. Well, exit polls showed that democracy and abortion rights were definitely on the top of mind for many Democratic voters. So that was one of the takeaways. I think another big takeaway was he was asked whether he plans to run for re-election. And that's a question that had to be asked after the midterms, and one that he'll need to decide on in the coming months. And he said he still intends, he does intend to run. He said, we intend to run. He was referring to his wife, Jill. And he said that he'll probably make a final decision on that by the beginning of next year.
Yeah, Jeff, I think that was going to be one of the big questions, regardless of the outcome of this midterm election. But it does appear that since Democrats may not have done as poorly as expected, may give him perhaps a little more momentum. We'll see. The biggest question, however, is whether and how the Republican majority will work or not work with this administration. What did he say about this kind of new reality, essentially, that he will be entering into in January, where Republicans in the House with a majority, even a slim one, can do a lot to block his agenda?
For sure. And you're spot on to say it's a new reality. It's not maybe as bad of a reality as some were anticipating it would be, but Republicans certainly look likely to have control of the House. And that means they can start investigations of President Biden, of some of his policy decisions, of his son Hunter. All of those things are things that they have flagged. And he addressed a question about that today. He said the American people would see that for what it is. And he said that he called that at times comedy, and then said he had no control over it, but his job was just to keep working for the American people. I think
I got to show this to y'all before, even when we're talking about the Latino voters. This was a video I was looking for. This is what the Democrats do. They're delusional right now. I want you to listen to what Jill Biden says. She said this back in July.
This organization.
Now, she was speaking to one of the largest Hispanic civil rights groups in the country, Unidos US. Listen to what she said.
Build this organization with the understanding that the diversity of this community, as distinct as the Bogotas of the Bronx, as beautiful as the blossoms of Miami, and as unique as the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio is your strength. And yet, it's when you speak with one voice, unidos, that you find
As unique as breakfast tacos in San Antonio. Now, people took, of course, she took a lot of criticism for that, Dr. Biden, and she apologized for saying it. But why you see Florida in red, that's a reason why. Even Jen Psaki, who's no longer the White House press secretary, she talked about the reason why Latino voters are going Republican is because they don't understand. They're being targeted with misinformation. They don't like this stuff. This is insulting when you do this stuff. She made that remark. This was all earlier this year.
So there was a red wave on Long Island.
There's a point to this, Shawn, and I think you get it. Nobody is going to tolerate disrespect. You're not going to insult me and expect me to vote.
Differences, and in Florida, population of older MSNBC pundit said this by a tweet: the Latino vote is not the same everywhere. There are huge generational differences, and in Florida, population of older voters, more likely Republicans, much larger than younger. Socialism does not play there, and there is, and this is the important part, she says there is a massive disinformation problem in the Spanish language media. Well, you know what? The Spanish language media disagrees, and so do many others.
Yeah. So Francis Suarez, you've interviewed him countless times. He's the mayor of Miami. And here he is on why the Dems attempt to appeal to Hispanic voters, why their attempt to appeal is failing.
The Democrats are in denial. They're in denial because they first tried to brand all Hispanics as Latinx. That didn't work. People don't like it. Then they tried to go nuance, and the president's First Lady said, that we're as unique as San Antonio tacos. That also didn't work, and obviously offended people. And now they're trying to come up with more excuses as to why Republicans keep gaining with Hispanics. It's not just big for Miami-Dade County or for Florida. It's big for the United States. It's a template for success for Republican elections for a generation national. And I think
Latinx, by the way, y'all know what that means, right? That's gender neutral. Latinos do not play that.
No, they don't play that emasculation stuff.
That emasculation stuff don't fly. So it's not just black people that call out agendas. That does not fly. Machismo is big in Latino community. Look at Roberto Duran. Look at Ricky Ricardo. Just that machismo, they love that. They love a man being a man, and the women love a man being a man, and the men love women who are women. The women love men who are men, and vice versa. The men love women who are women, right? So they don't play that stuff. But go ahead, Shawn.
Yeah, well, when I look at what with your Joker Joe, he's just being extremely arrogant, and he's completely disconnected, because what I saw with these election results was the sad state of affairs with the American people. The American people sat there and said that they wanted something done about the economy and the inflation, but then some of them went out here and voted blue, which shows me that the United States of America is the pathetic states of America, because this should have been a real hard vote against these leftists who went out here and destroyed American people's lives with these jab mandates and other policies that were done during the pandemic, which took away Americans' rights. But instead, they managed to manipulate women into thinking, oh, your right to choose was being taken away, when in actuality, it was the Supreme Court was acting on the Constitution. And sadly, a lot of people, the race wound up closer as a result of them playing to the emotions of these females And as they got played to their emotions, a lot of these American women didn't even understand they were voting against their interests, because you can't have a country that's stable and a stable economy unless you get crime in line. And sadly, when I look at this whole situation as related to things, your Joe Biden, he's gloating way too soon. And like most beta males, he's thinking he's got a victory when he may be headed for a big loss, because at this point, he may think that he can go out here and blame everybody else for his failures. But at this point, we see that he's the guy just trying to play games with people, and it may be game over for him and his party next time around. And he won't have to, and this time he'll have to be accountable for all of the failures that are here, and he won't be able to deflect by trying to play to people's emotions and manipulating young Gen Zers as related to some sort of student loan thing. Because if the Supreme Court makes it where they say that it's unconstitutional, all these students are gonna get swerved. So I look at the big picture of Joker Joe, and I look at the election results, and again, it shows me that we have a country that really that's double-minded, doesn't have a direction, doesn't know where it wants to go. And that's why I'm calling it the pathetic states of America, because instead of going out here and standing up for your country, standing up and taking your respect as related to these jab mandates and other policies, and standing up for your economy and inflation, most Americans bought into a false narrative about democracy. And that false narrative made them think, oh, you're fighting to preserve your country, when the irony is it's the people who are talking about democracy who are the biggest hypocrites on the planet. And again, I look at them trying to pander to these different groups to try to avoid dealing with Black people, like the whole Latinx thing. That's a clown show, because Latinos, they're showing that they're eventually going to vote red, and they may wind up turning on the blue party. And it may be a lot of blue politicians feeling bad when they get turned on.
Yeah. Well, it's the backlash is happening. And Shawn, before we get out of here, I do want to piggyback on one thing, this Kyrie Irving stuff. I got to do a video on this, but did you hear what Al Sharpton had to say about Kyrie Irving?
I did, and it's just classic bootlicking.
Let me play the video. I can't play all of it because I'll get a copyright strike from TMZ, but this is what Al Sharpton said. I'm going to do a separate video about it.
You see Kyrie Irving kind of, being reprimanded. People are calling it a lashing. What are your thoughts on this? This is kind of
I think that we need to really be careful that those of us that have fought racism in the Black community, that we cannot in any way, even inadvertently, normalize being bigots against others. And I think that, I've not said anything other than we've got to be consistent. And if people say things wrong, they need to be held to the same account that we hold when people say things wrong about us. And as far as, some of them get angry that some of us are saying we shouldn't say that, they have to get angry. We fight against bigotry of all forms, and bigotry cannot be normalized. And
that's why nobody listens to you, Al Sharpton. You're a damn hypocrite. You're a failure as a leader. You're not even a leader. I don't know who elected you as leader. You're not my representative. And I fell out with Al Sharpton years ago when he went at Eddie Griffin over the N-word at the Black Enterprise Golf show. It was a award show, and Eddie was selected to present. They wanted him to make jokes. He told him I could give you the money back because I was just supposed to present. Y'all asking me to do this at the last minute. They said you could do you, and they didn't like what he was saying, so they cut his mic off over his language, and then they brought Al Sharpton to say something, and Al Sharpton wasn't even at the show. But this airhead, he looks like a bobblehead, literally. He was better when he was fat. But Shawn, go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted you, but I have to play the video.
Well, your Al Sharpton is your typical bootlick going out here and going along with the status quo. And again, he's just trying to go out here and get himself some butter biscuits from his white benefactors and shows us that he really doesn't care about black people. And he doesn't really care that the same people who he's looking to bootlick want to take away his constitutional rights as related to freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom of expression. And what's really troubling here is that you have all of these bootlicks looking to go along with the slave master instead of standing up for your rights as an American citizen, because what they're trying to do is push you into a second class status. And that second class status is what they're trying to do to Kyrie Irving. And what they want to do is bring their bootlicks in to try to reinforce that status. And it's embarrassing to watch your Al Sharpton because he has no more credibility anymore. I mean, I look at Al Sharpton and how he talked about black men as related to this election, and I'm looking at how he's talking right now, and he's not an individual I would even want to consider to be credible anymore, because he shows that he's just out here to get those crumbs from the master's table.
Yeah. Have to hit the like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. No, he's too comfortable with that money. And who watches his show? It comes on like at 4 o'clock in the morning. Nobody is up at that time on Sunday. And Al Sharpton is married and got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
He's still married and has a girl. Yeah, okay. And you're a reverend? Okay. Before I get out of here, y'all, I want y'all to see this sea of red on this map. This is for all the elections. This is what's up to game. So the Republicans will likely, if they get Georgia, that tips the scale. That's why Georgia is an important election to them. Nevada is going red. Alaska is going red, it looks like. So they can slow down some of the stuff we're seeing, like illegal immigration. Yeah, I want that shit to slow down. I want that shit to stop. This agenda with the you know what, I want that to stop. I think some of it is wrong. Yeah, teaching it to kids in school, bathrooms. Yeah, I don't like it. And you're not going to make me feel bad because I feel a certain way because it's against my nature. I just feel, I got to feel like Lou Rawls said, a natural man. That's just the way it is. But we're going to get out of here, Shawn, if you got any remarks to say.
Well, all I want everybody to know is that my new book, The Woman Crisis, is now available in paperback on Amazon.com and online booksellers. And if you want to pick up a copy of The Woman Crisis, you can head over to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other online booksellers and get a paperback copy right now. And if you want to get a digital version, you can put in your pre-order at every online bookseller from Amazon with Kindle, Barnes & Noble, Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And you'll have your digital copy of The Woman Crisis on November 29th.
Tierra Mack never ran. Tierra Mack didn't win. There was no election for Tierra Mack. She's in state senate, not U.S. Senate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Shawn. We thank you for coming on as always. I thank everybody for tuning in. Please shout out to everybody that's been here, from Danielle Meyer, who's always here, Darius from Atlanta, Tyree, thank you. Oh, you guys, if you have not, y'all should check it out. I did an interview today promoting the book with my brother from Viral Hip Hop News, brother Sam Ant. We had a great interview. Y'all ought to check it out. We just finished about 3 hours ago. We did like a 49-minute interview. I just enjoyed it. Enjoyed being with him. But y'all should check it out right now. It was pretty good. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna put it in the description, the comment section, so y'all can watch it. But we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, if you want to buy some Creole seasoning, go to Naughty'sCreoleBlends.com. Naughty'sCreoleBlends.com. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Naughty's goes great with every dish. Making big moves with that too, coming soon. Also, I can't find Naughty's. Hold on. There's my link to I need my Naughty's, damn it. Hold on. There we go. Also, I need y'all, if you can, please purchase, download Video Soul on iTunes and Apple and Amazon. And I also need you all to gotta get on up our theme song. Since we have gotten on down, it's time for us to get on up. So shout out to Darius, shout out to everybody. Please donate to that Cash App, ladies and gentlemen. Support a brother. This channel is not monetized, so any help you can give was appreciated. Any videos and clips that were used in this broadcast don't belong to me. However, they are copyrighted. While copyrighted, they are subjected to fair use under the Copyright Act of 1976, ladies and gentlemen, which we use for commentary and news reporting purposes. Computer Robots asks, what's your stream going to be about tomorrow?
I'm still trying to figure it out. It might be related to the woman crisis.
To the woman crisis? Okay.
It might be related to it. It might be a topic based on that. It might be a topic on something else. It's up in the air.
I see. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're going to get out of here. I want to thank you, brother, again, as always.
Thank you for having me on.
All right. And before you get off, Shawn, there's something I want to ask you right quick off the air. So, if we could, if you don't mind waiting just for a minute. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get on up. Our theme song, ladies and gentlemen, we've gotten up down. It's time for us to get on up. We hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. And I would okay. It's timed out. All right, there we go. Good night, guys.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, cause on the dance floor is where we'll be. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, There's only one thing left to do, cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop. I'll do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you're breathing, you're achieving. So if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the floor, baby. Yeah, gotta get on. Come on, baby, gotta get on. Baby. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.